Hi, and welcome to My Life in Heels. I'm your host, Tiffany Scott. The channel does exactly what it says on the tin. It's all about my life in heels. So, if you like girls like me, the channel's for you. If you are a girl like me, the channel's for you. If you're out and about, it's still for you. If you're just starting your journey and you're dressing on your own at home, there'll be something for you as well. So please, join our journey. I'll be talking about issues that have obviously affected me, how I started to dress, and why I started to dress, from the early days where I thought I was the only one who dressed, to discovering there's a whole world out there of other people like me, to coming across one or two websites where they're all on. What a shock. I remember I would dress at home on my own, I would take some pictures, I would look at them and think, oh, what do they look like? They generally weren't very good. And I'm sure we've all been there. And then you get to the stage where you're kind of quite happy with your look and you take the odd selfie and you think, oh, that looks good. But looking back, it didn't look that good. I remember my first ever visit to a club, which was wild, and I thought I'd made a mistake. But in the end, I actually met some good friends. And before you know it, I was outside. I was out having a drink in town. I'd gone from being a girl at home, dressing on my own, wasn't really sure what to do with makeup, to being an out and about party animal. I'm not sure where you're at on your journey, but I'm sure that we've all been there. The hardest thing for me when I started was makeup. And when I decided to do this properly, I started looking on YouTube. And I found this one particular one, which was a series of videos that somebody had done in America. And that was a massive help. I started to look at that and use it as a basic formula. And then once you've got your foundation and everything laid on, as you do with foundation, I found that you could mess about with different things. So if you are just starting, have a look on YouTube. I'll put a little link in the description of a video that I followed when I first started. Once you've kind of got the basics, then you can work from there. So in the early days when I first started to do a bit of research, I realised it wasn't as simple as just getting ready. You had to practice how to hold yourself. So we'll be discussing on the channel how to do that. Do you do anything with your voice? Or do you just leave it the same? I've been out in bars and thought there was two blokes behind me. When I've turned round, it's two tea-girls. It's really up to you. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever works for you. I can just give you a few tips and things that work for me. I remember watching Cosmo Queens and I came across a video. There was quite a series of them. They're all drag queens. And you would start where they had no makeup on, it would speed up the video and they'd put the makeup on and they'd all look fabulous. But the one that really did it for me was Courtney Act. She just looked gorgeous. She didn't look like a drag queen. She looked very feminine. And I was thinking, my God, I would love to look like her. And she is somebody that I still look up to. We all have our icons. The famous ones are probably Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, people like that. Nowadays, one of the ones I look up to is Kylie. I really like the feminine look, but as I said before, there's no right or wrong way. You'll develop your own style. We'll be discussing as well how I started, and I remember going into a shop to buy some clothes. I hadn't a clue what to buy. I wasn't quite sure of my size. I didn't know what type of things would go with each other, what type of colours, what type of shoes. One thing I would say is don't look at something that works for a 20-year-old size 8 girl if you're not a size 8 and you're in your 40s or 50s. You can't really look like a 20-year-old girl, but what you can look like is an attractive, middle-aged woman. Obviously, if you are in your 20s, well, you're dead lucky. Just go for it. Nowadays, obviously, we've got RuPaul's Drag Race, and the makeup on there is absolutely fabulous. I think RuPaul herself is absolutely stunning. I also like Alyssa Edwards. She always looks amazing. And I've seen one of her makeup tutorials, and she just looks absolutely stunning. I think what you've got to do when you start, we all need something to aim for, but don't compare yourself to some of these drag queens. If you compare yourself to Courtney Act and Alyssa Edwards, you're always going to fail. Just do what you think works for you. Try and look as nice as you can and have fun. I love fashion and I do love me clothes. I've got about 100 pairs of heels as well, and that sort of develops over time. If you're not comfortable in heels and you want to wear flats, wear flats. Just develop your own style. In the coming weeks we'll be discussing style, how I started, what I look for, and maybe things that you could do as well. We'll be discussing how we can get hold of clothes, where to get them from, what's the easiest thing to do. Obviously, if you're smaller, you've got an advantage to start with. And as far as shoes go, generally if you're an 8 or under, you can just buy girls' shoes. If you've got bigger feet, you need to go to specialists. And the mad thing is, they're more expensive than a really nice pair of shoes. Once you've developed your look and you're feeling comfortable, what you don't want to do is sit on your own at home and nobody see it. So we'll be talking about the best places to go for your first experience out and about. I remember my first time out was a club. You might not want to go to a club, but the thing is they're private. So once you're in, you're quite safe and secure. And you're surrounded by like-minded individuals as well. So everybody there is in the same boat as you. You might want to go out. I remember when I went to Leeds First Friday, which is a big trans event in Leeds in the UK. It was absolutely mad. I remember my friend saying, "Are you nervous?" And I was, "No, I'm just excited." And I was. I'd bought 3 outfits, I took them all with me. I kind of knew the one I was going to wear. I thought it looked nice, but looking back at some of the pictures, I didn't. But going out, going to bars was an absolute eye-opener for me. And seeing all the other girls out there that were so comfortable. They were comfortable being out and about, they were comfortable in their own skin. And that's the important thing, just be comfortable being you. I love chatting to other girls, and I love it when girls look lovely. I don't compare myself to them. I'm just really pleased, and I enjoy seeing others that dress and do it particularly well. The other thing, when you go out, you get to meet other like-minded people. We all face the same issues, and I think we probably all have the same fears. And even if some people are really confident, at some point they would have been a bit unsure, but they've obviously just gone out a lot. Some people like to shop. I like to do mine online. I don't really want to go shopping. I like to go for a drink. It's really nice if a guy takes you out. There's nothing nicer than going into a bar on a guy's arm and buying your drink, sitting down, having a chat. It's the proper girlfriend experience. Not everybody wants to go out with a guy. Not everybody's sexual orientation is the same, and it doesn't have to be. We don't all have to conform to the same blueprint. It's more fun if we're all different. But if you do chat to other people, whether it be online when you first start, or actually you meet them out, you'll realise there's nothing to fear. Some people are quite happy at home and they feel more comfortable and relaxed. You don't have to go out if you don't want to, but other people are absolutely chomping at the bit and they can't wait to get out. I recently took a girl who I've known for years, and she sometimes comes here to dress, and she had the opportunity to go to Leeds First Friday, and she asked me if I'd go with her. And when you go down there, there's lots of makeup artists, professional makeup artists, and I'd booked her an appointment with one. And I went and had a drink and I came back and I didn't recognise her. She looked amazing. The look on her face, she was beaming all night. And since, she's been to a club with me. Once you make that first step, it's amazing. The problem I had when I went to Leeds, I'd have a new outfit every month and it's expensive. You don't have to do that. Not everybody's as mad as me. And just to prove you're not on your own, I'll be having guests on the channel. I've got friends who are sort of similar to me. Some dress at home, some are married and their wives don't know the dress. Some are on YouTube and have massive following. Some have actually transitioned and done the whole thing, had the operation, everything. There's all sorts of different stories. And I want to get different people on the channel so you can experience their journey with them. We'll be discussing some of the local events as well you can go to. The good thing about the online community is you can speak to other girls and learn where they go, and you know there's certain places you can go and meet people. So if you've got nobody to go with, if you arrange to meet somebody there, at least you're not on your own. So in the coming weeks, I'll be telling you how it all started for me. I'll try and give you some tips and hopefully helpful advice to help you on your journey too. What to look for when you first start going out, how to make sure it's going to be a pleasurable experience. Before you do that, you need to work on your makeup, how you can develop your look. What works for one person might not work for somebody else. So initially it sometimes helps to copy, but over time you'll develop your own style. There is a myth in the T-girl world about passing, and I think it is a myth. There's very few of us actually pass out in the real world. I was in a bar once with my boyfriend and we'd been in about 20 minutes. And then I realised on the table behind me there was 3 T-girls and a woman. It wasn't so much that they passed, it was they looked dowdy, so nobody noticed. So you need to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and dress, go under the radar, sneak about so nobody notices you? Or are you going to stick a blonde wig on, high heels, and go ta-da? Guess which option I went for? So the best advice I can give you is just enjoy it. Be confident. If you're out and about and you're looking at your feet, people tend to look at you because they think you look a bit shifty. Where if you're confident, people don't tend to bother you. Obviously, it's not easy to get confidence when you first start. But if you use the building blocks that we're talking about, you do the steps with your makeup, you pick the right outfit, you work on your posture, on your voice, your confidence will grow. And one thing I would say, take a load of pictures, because what you'll find, when you first start, you'll think, oh, I look quite nice. But your look will develop over time, and after a while, you'll look back at those old pictures and think, yeah, maybe I wasn't as nice as I thought I was. But you'll see the improvements that you made. You'll see your confidence shining through. So that's episode 1. A quick introduction to what the podcast is going to be all about. Remember, I'll be posting every Monday, so please look out for me. If you've kind of enjoyed this, why don't you subscribe? And then I'll see you every week. Bye for now.